Yo, what's going on? Super Devin here. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. Um, Not really important to go over that right now because you guys are here to know about attachments in bad business. Now, I know I've already done a video on this before, but that video was not planned out whatsoever. It was just me at 3 in the morning thinking, oh my god, this is a good video idea, I'm gonna do it. This time I have a thought out plan and also a bit more helpful information for those of you who want to use attachments. But this is also not only a video on tips, but also an announcement for a series I'm going to be making, which are the best attachments for every gun in the game. But it's going to be doing one gun every episode, and also it's going to be with the weapons that have the M4 attachments. Because basically, when the M4A1 came out in Bad Business, it came with attachments, the 3 attachments that no other gun has, which is ammunition, stock, and barrel. So those are the M4 attachments. So whenever a gun has revamped attachments, I will level it up, get all the attachments I want for it, and then talk to you guys about the best attachments. I'm saying that in quotes because it is my personal opinion. It may not be the same attachments you want to go with, but that is kind of how it works. This is all my personal opinion. This is not factual, but it will be a good setup if you don't really know what the best attachments are for yourself. So anyway, let's get over to actual gameplay and talk about the best attachments. Alright, so my main objective here is to kind of show you guys each category and go into detail what you need to look for in each category. Of course, there are going to be some exceptions, but if there are exceptions to the weapon, chances are I'm gonna end up doing a video over it in my new series that I just mentioned in the beginning. But other than that, let's just go ahead and actually go over each category. So, assault rifles can vary, you want to be looking at, there are going to be I'd say 3 things you want to look at in a gun. You can actually kind of see how a weapon is going to work without even using it in game. And the things that you're going to notice are damage, fire rate, and magazine. And then also this right here, this chart is going to be your damage range, and then this is recoil. So with those things kept in mind, you can honestly kind of see what attachments are going to be good on any gun. But of course, it can still be kind of complicated to someone. So let's take a look at kind of the two ends of the scale. So the STG-44 is a perfect example of a weapon that is slow fire rate, high damage, low recoil. And then also moderate damage range. So high damage range is going to be 250 meters, and then low damage range is going to be anywhere between 100 and 150 meters. Basically, what damage range is this is the fall off of how much damage a bullet will do the further away your target. So having the low recoil, which as you can see here, as you can see the dust, this is kind of the average recoil, or it's kind of hard to explain, but as you can see, it's green. All right, that's good. That's a good thing. It's green, meaning that it's not hard to control. But a weapon that is higher recoil, as you can see here, is going to end up going more into that red area. And then the exception here is burst weapons, such as the G11 or the FAMAS. These are typically easy to control since they are burst. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track. So the STG-44 has a very low fire rate. It's only 480, which is actually lower than the AK-47 and the SCAR. But more higher fire rate weapon, the highest fire rate assault rifle is the AS-VAL with 900 fire rate. And this is almost half of that. Added on with 40 damage. And also keep in mind, every people have 150 health, so this is going to be a 4-shot. Yes, it's a 4-shot. Yeah, Sorry, had to think for a sec. So yeah, this is gonna be a 4-shot to the body, 3-shot to the head. This is gonna be, yeah, so low fire rate, high damage, decent. It has decent, damage range. Sorry, brain not working. And then good recoil. So overall, this is kind of that controllable, high damage, easy to use range of the scale. And then something like the Honey Badger or the AS Val, these are much more high fire rate, high recoil, low damage range. It seems like that means it's going to be a bad weapon, but no, it's these things can actually delete people because they have super high fire rate, and that damage range doesn't really matter too much because they're more close range. And then the recoil is going to be an issue. So overall, looking into these things, the best attachments to actually help are going to be any attachments that say recoil reduction, vertical recoil reduction, any attachment that says increased damage range, and also sometimes ammunition is a good thing to keep in mind. Like the AS Val has 20 rounds, so having a 30-round mag is very helpful. Even with the M4, having that 50-round mag is going to be helpful too. So, once again, damage range and recoil control / recoil reduction. For SMGs, these are more like they can be really high fire rate weapons, like the Chris Vector being over 1,000 fire rate, or something kind of lower fire rate, like let's say the UMP45 or the AUG. These are two pretty slow fire rate weapons. Or the SMO3 is a really good example. Really low fire rate SMG, which means it won't have very bad recoil. So yeah, and then magazine capacity is pretty much good on SMGs. You don't need to worry about that too much. So damage range and sometimes recoil control, depending on the gun, are going to be the two things you want to look into for these weapons. So yeah, I just suggest damage range, to be honest. So LMGs are kind of these are wild cards. So depending on the gun, you're going to want to go for recoil control, recoil reduction, and damage range. Damage range is pretty much a universal good thing to have. And then for like the L85, for example, you're going to need more ammo with it because it's an LMG. The whole point of LMGs is to spray and pray in this game, and then to be really slow while doing it. So having a high magazine capacity is going to be helping you with that. So just sticking to that is going to be a good idea. And then damage range and recoil control. I honestly would say recoil reduction will always be better than recoil control, but if you don't have any attachments that can really be good for recoil reduction, sorry about the victory thingy, but yeah, anything that has recoil reduction, use that over recoil control. Alright, so rifles, let's actually take a look at their damage range. So, these usually recoil is not going to be an issue whatsoever, but their main issue is going to be reload speed, actually. So you're going to want to have high reload speed with these, which that's going to be more in the handling section. So, like, sleight of hand is really going to be the only thing you can do about reload speed. And then sometimes mobility can be good with these. Maybe, and then for like an optic, I'd say like a mid-range scope. Like personally, the rolling block rifle. If you're using this, a perfect example is the Pro Patrol sight. Personally, this is my favorite scope in the game. So using that would be good. So yeah, reload speed, damage range is pretty much good on these. These all have really high damage range, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. But yeah, just reload speed. All right, snipers. Snipers always put an optic on these, to be honest. The only ones that don't come with them are the Mosin Nagant and the Seiko TRG. These are the only two snipers that do not come with one, so I would put the Pro Patrol sight on them. Reload speed is going to be good with these, and then damage range is perfect for all these. These all, like, stay their damage no matter the range, except for one, which is the op. This one is a much more complicated sniper. This is going to be for people who are way advanced in the game. That's why it's a Prestige 3 weapon. This one, I will make a video on this one because this, like I said, is way more complicated. But damage range and reload speed are going to be super important on the op. But the rest of these, reload speed as well as even hipfire accuracy is going to be good on these if you want to try and hit no scopes. But yeah, and then the Model 1873 is more of a wild card. This one you can kind of set up however you want. I might do a video on this one later on. We'll see. But reload speed is also going to be really important for this, seeing as it is a single load. So you're going to be loading one bullet at a time, like a shotgun. Speaking of shotguns, that's the next category. So these guys are also sort of complicated, but also not. So these shoot pellets, and each pellet does a certain amount of damage. They don't actually say how much damage each pellet does, but they, can be a really crucial thing. That's why you'll see it says 180 damage, for example, or 160 damage, and then you'll hit a shot, and then it doesn't kill them, even though it says it does more than how much health they have. That's because you have to hit every single pellet. So that's where I say shotguns are always going to need hipfire accuracy. So that's what lasers do, basically, is give you that hipfire accuracy so that the pellets will hit your target more, like they're more accurate. So that's where you need that, basically, with shotguns. So hipfire accuracy and reload speed are going to be the two things you want to look for in shotguns. So a laser and sleight of hand. So special weapons, these I'm not really going to go over that much because they're all different. They all have different aspects that you need to worry about. So just, kind of try to see how the gun works and then figure out, with all the tips I've given you, figure out what attachments are going to be good with these. So pistols, there are a few attachments that are going to be universal for all of them. Basically reload speed, and then there is also that attachment, let's see, there is a perk. This one, quick draw. Or not quick draw, tactical holster. This increases the swap speed so that you can switch to it super fast if you see yourself, using secondaries as like an emergency, a last resort. Then that's when the tactical holster is going to be important. But usually I would suggest having a laser. Damage range isn't too important on secondaries because you're going to be using these at close range. But putting on a monolithic silencer just to give it that extra damage range won't ever hurt. And then magazine capacity, if you can put it on, I suggest putting it on. And then other than that, that's really all you need is just a little bit of damage range if you can manage it, and then magazine capacity. Recoil control won't ever really be an issue, except for maybe the MAC-10 and the G18. These might have a little high recoil, but really all you can do about that is a grip. I think the MAC-10 can have an underbarrel. Yeah. So if you're going to use an underbarrel for MAC-10, vertical grip is always going to be the best for recoil reduction. So yeah, basically the three things that you want to keep an eye on and try and get: vertical grip, monolithic silencer, and then sleight of hand for slower reload weapons. Those are always going to be important. But those are basically my tips for you guys. So just make sure you're looking at the statistics of your weapon and trying to find out what works with it. If it's a high recoil weapon, you want to reduce that recoil. If it doesn't have very much ammo, you want to put that ammo up. If it's got not so great damage range, you want to increase that damage range. So basically that's the whole point of attachments, is to better the weapon. Make it basically to fix the issues the weapon has, to counteract its negatives. So that's all you need to worry about with attachments. So yeah, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I will try to upload more Bad Business content for you guys. But if you do want to catch me elsewhere, you can follow me on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, typically streaming Bad Business. And then if you want to get notifications and updates for when I go live, you can follow me on Twitter. And if you want to talk to me elsewhere, you can join my Discord server where I have a small community of like my friends and just some random people that you can talk to and play games with, stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a good day, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.